The Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris is about to be desecrated. Plans for its renovation resemble a politically correct Disneyland, according to the Telegraph. In yet another alarming example of the threat posed by woke iconoclasm. Under the proposed changes, confessional boxes, altars and classical sculptures will be replaced with modern art murals and new sound and light effects to create emotional spaces. There will be themed chapels on a discovery trail with an emphasis on Africa and Asia, while quotes from the Bible will be projected onto chapel walls in various languages, including Mandarin. The final chapel on the trail will have a strong environmental emphasis. While Africa and Asia will have pride of place, Europe, the Americas and Oceania will either be less evident behind the apse or totally absent. The tour ends at a chapel dedicated to reconciled creation, namely environmentalism as set out in Pope Francis's Laudato Si encyclical. So basically it's going to be about providing a contrived aura of sacredness as a shrine to the new religion of man-made climate change, while the rest of it serves as some kind of universalist globalist pastiche for the entertainment of rich Chinese and Arab tourists. What they are proposing to do to Notre Dame would never be done to Westminster Abbey or St. Peter's in Rome, said Maurice Coulot, a prize-winning Paris-based architect. It's a kind of theme park and very childish and trivial, given the grandeur of the place. A source close to the project expressed his disgust at plans to mutilate the majestic work of Eugene Vallée-le-Duc. This is political correctness gone mad. They want to turn Notre Dame into an experimental liturgical showroom that exists nowhere else, whereas it should be a landmark where the slightest change must be handled with great care. But Father Gilles Drouin, who is charged with reworking the interior, rejected the criticism. He said the most important thing was to cater to people, quote, who are not always from a Christian culture. Chinese visitors may not necessarily understand the nativity, he said. So fucking what? That's their problem. Do Buddhists in China worry about French tourists not understanding their temples? Understand, this is nothing new. Efforts to desecrate Notre Dame began mere days after the fire. First in the form of modernist architects attempting to impose their egomaniacal drive to make absolutely everything hideously ugly, to the point where the French Senate had to pass a bill asserting the church be rebuilt exactly how it was before. One architect even demanded that Notre Dame's fallen spire be replaced with an Islamic minaret as an apology to Algerian Muslims killed by French police. Others called for the building to reflect France's newfound diversity, which is working out so great for them. Specifically in an article entitled "How Should France Rebuild Notre Dame?" Rolling Stone magazine denigrated the church as a, quote, deep-seated symbol of resentment, a monument to a deeply flawed institution and an idealized Christian European France that arguably never existed in the first place. The writer asserted that the structure shouldn't represent a, quote, non-secular, white European France. Yeah, try going to Saudi Arabia and telling them that their mosques shouldn't represent Muslim Arabs. Funny, isn't it, how that kind of thing is only ever said about European countries. To get exclusive content, early access, behind the scenes stuff, and to personally interact with me, please sign up for my community at pauljosephwatson.locals.com. Link in description, and thank you for your generous support.